Good morning, beautiful people. I'm Alex and this is Gingerhead & Co, my sewing vlog. As the spring approaches, I seem to be in a coat making frenzy. I made Burda coat, the one that I'm wearing. It's from the magazine from January 2020 and the pattern number is 101. And I said, well, I knew straight away that I wanted to make this coat, even though I knew that I would have some work with it, but I didn't expect that much work. That's the coat, but I'll put some photos in because you probably can't see that much. It looks like that. So as soon as I got the Burda magazine from January, I wanted to make this coat. I really liked it. And it was even, well, I was even thinking about making it from my purple wool, the one that I got in Goldhawk Road. But I'm going to take the coat off because I'm going to put some photos in. You can't really see it very well, but it's getting a bit hot, it's wool. I wanted to make it from the purple wool that I got in Goldhawk Road. I mean, I was thinking about it, but now I'm sulking, so I don't know. Well, I knew that I would have some work with it because I had to size the button down, and the button is also, the coat in the magazine is also unlined, and I prefer my coats to be lined. So I knew that it wouldn't be as easy as it was supposed to be, but I didn't know that it was going to take me that much time. So first I sized the button down, which is not really a problem. It's a simple pattern. It's really not a problem, but then I drafted the lining and I started suspecting that something was not quite right because the facings looked as if they were from another pattern. But I don't have a lot of experience, so I don't know, well, I didn't know if I was right, or I didn't know if it was sort of going to sort itself out. I had drafted linings before, I know how to do that. It's not very difficult, so I didn't expect to have any problem with that. And I cut everything out, the coat, the lining. I used leftover fabric, so leftover wool that I had from making Hubby's coat, the Goldstream Peak coat from Thread Theory, and from my coat, from Yeat's coat. And I didn't have enough leftover fabric of any kind, so as you can see, the facings are different. There are two different shades of grey, but I really don't mind that. I quite like it, to be honest. Well, it was meant to be a simple coat, but because I'm a faster sewer than the tracer or cutter or drafter, it took me a long time to draft, well, to size down, to draft the lining, to kind of double check everything, then all the cutting out. So I spent a lot of time doing that, and I was hoping that it was going to be straightforward from then on, but it wasn't. First of all, when I started sewing, I thought something was wrong with the instructions because Burda tells you to ease in the sleeves, and I had measured my pattern, the original pattern from the magazine. There is no ease in the sleeves. They are put in flat and they are grown on sleeves, so there is drop shoulder and there is no ease. So, well, you can't really ease in two same length pieces of fabric. But okay, Burda magazine has funny instructions very often. I got used to that, so I shouldn't really be surprised. I put the sleeves in, obviously that was very easy. Then I started with the facing. I put the facing in and I kind of panicked because I'll show you. The facing looks like that and everything would be fine, but this color is not from this pattern. Because that was supposed to be a collar, I assumed, because that's the shape of the collar. That's the facing, right? So it would be fine if it was like that and you had this notched collar anywhere in the coat, but you don't. And to prove that, I'm going to show you the photo. That's the coat, and there is absolutely no notched collar anywhere to be seen. And okay, I make a lot of mistakes. I am still learning, but I can only learn if I know where I'd gone wrong. And I really blame the pattern. I just think this is not the right piece for this coat. But I unpicked 3 times trying to work out the best way to put in the facing so that there was some sort of notched collar. I was really frustrated and I was really angry because I didn't know. Usually when I make a mistake, I know where I had gone wrong. Usually I can go back, I can sort of sort it out, or at least I can learn my lesson. And in here I was lost. I was really getting angrier and angrier because it was meant to be a simple coat and I spent so much time. I spent 2 days making a very simple coat, well, coat again really, that should probably take, I don't know, a few hours to make. If you've got this button, if you've made the coat, tell me what should be done. The problem was that I couldn't put my lining in. I've got the lining all ready to go in, but it's not going to go in. Finally, I put the facing in like that. So that's the collar. That's the collar bit. And that was the only way it could go into the pattern. It could be sewn, or at least I couldn't work out any other way. But it means that if I attach my lining, it would leave a hole, this square hole on top. And I was really angry because I wanted to line this coat, and I don't mind unlined coats. I really don't. I prefer lined ones, but I don't mind unlined ones. Had I known that it was going to be unlined, I wouldn't have finished the seams with the overlocker. I would have made flat felt seams, but well, it's too late now. I finished the coat and it's going to be left unlined and I am going to wear it, and I really love the silhouette. It's really modern, it's really urban. I feel great in this coat. It's kind of genderless and I like it. I feel quite classy but not sophisticated because I'm not very sophisticated. It's a great coat, it's a great pattern, but something is quite wrong. It's either the instructions or it is meant to be simple. So I don't think it's aimed at people with a lot of experience. So I don't know if I'm missing something. I can't find out what I'm missing. I made some changes because I interfaced everything. The pattern only tells you to interface the color, but I interfaced everything, not just that. So not just that part, but also the facings and the fronts of the coat. And I added a snap because I like snaps. It is meant to be kind of urban, everyday, go everywhere coat. So I wanted the snap and I'm pretty happy with the snap. I like the pockets are fine, everything is fine, but what else? I always interface, and I was going to tell you that when I was talking about my other coats, I interface the bottom, so I interface all the hem, right? So I put interfacing in the hem and in the part that is folded, so the under hem, let's say. Okay, so let's say that it's 1.5 inch or 4 centimeters fold of the hem, right? So I interface that and the inside, right? But I also put interfacing over the fold inside. I can't open it because it's sewn together. I sewn it together using blind hem. My blind hammer didn't like the thickness of the fabric, but I am absolutely happy to spend 6 hours playing with my machine, but I'm not happy to spend 6 hours blind hemming, or even 3 hours blind hemming by hand anything, because I don't like sewing by hand. I'm not very good at it, and it would never look as professional as when the machine does it, because come on, this is like, if this is not blind, I don't know what is. You could try under the microscope and you wouldn't find the line of stitching. Yeah, that's what my machine can do. I can't do it. You would definitely see my blind hem if I did it by hand. So, well, that's it. I didn't really make any other changes. I still like the coat. I am still going to wear the coat. I'm still going to love the coat, but I started sulking, and because I very often act on emotions, not on reason. So because I'm angry with the pattern, I'm not going to make my purple wool. It's not going to be this coat. Definitely not. Just because, why? Why should I do something that made me angry? And I could have made Yates coat in this time. And my purple wool is most likely going to be Yates coat. And I just remembered there is one more thing. The instructions tell you to turn corners, to clip and turn corners, and there are no corners unless they mean the hem. But, don't know. Okay, fine. again, well, it's not the first time. I'm very often finding Burda instructions quite ridiculous, but then most of them are fine. So it's like, sometimes people ask me why I make Burda patterns if the instructions from the magazine, if the instructions are so crap, because not all of them are crap. And well, I really fall in love with the patterns very often, because Burda is quite modern. So it's something that I see in the shops, or it's more like streetwear, but a bit elevated, and I really like it. I like the style, and I can't find patterns that I would like as much as some Burda patterns that would kind of suit my personality, so I can suffer through some mistakes. Again, a caveat, I do love the coat. I do love it. And it's not wasted fabric or anything, because I used my leftover fabric. So I shouldn't be that angry, but the pure fact that I wasted so much time, and time is a very expensive commodity. So if I had to pay myself for my time, I would have bought 2 or 3 coats. So come on. Time is not to be taken lightly. We don't really have time. You know, you could spend the time that you wasted on something else, like it could be your quality time with your family. And this is always more important. So that probably made me angry, because I don't really feel that this was the pattern that was meant to develop me as a sewer. I just kind of feel disappointed. I would probably say that I could make this pattern again now, when I know that I should probably redraft the facing, just make a simple facing and add the lining that I wanted to add, and I would be much happier with it. But I'm not sure. I need some time, some space. I need to clear my head, and I need to be less angry with the pattern that stole my time. Would I recommend this pattern? Not really, no. Unless you take into consideration everything I said, you come prepared, and you measure everything, you redraft your facings if you want the lining. If you don't want the lining, that's fine, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to have any hole. Probably, I don't know, think about finishes, because Burda obviously doesn't tell you anything about the finishes. Well, it doesn't kind of recommend flat felt seams, or, I don't know, Hong Kong seams, nothing like that. And you do want your seams inside if they are visible. If you take the coat off, people can see the seams. You want them to look pretty. You don't really want them, I mean, overlocking. For me, I love overlocking, but I didn't want overlocked seams in my wool coat. So it's not precisely what I wanted. If you think about all of that, if you know all of that, and you decided either to make it unlined or to line it but change the facings, and if you are ready to cope with the instructions that are not perfect at all, you will definitely be happy with the silhouette, because as I said, I love the coat itself, how it looks. But, well, if I ever make it again, quite possibly I might make it again, I will know what not to do. I will know better, and I do blame the pattern. I need to be careful with that, but to be honest, I spent so much time thinking about where I went wrong that there is no other option. The pattern piece is just from another pattern. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon. Bye!